Today we step into the heart of the Congo to discover the powerful story of a young Catholic whose unwavering faith cost him everything, except his soul. This is the moving and heroic story of Blessed Isidore Bakanja, the lay catechist, scapular martyr, and shining witness of the African Catholic faith. Isidore was born around 1887 in what is now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. He grew up among the Mongo, a people known for their strong cultural traditions and deep sense of community. As a boy, Isidore had a gentle spirit. He was respectful, honest, and hardworking, traits that would later define his sainthood. While still a young man, he encountered Catholic missionaries while working as a bricklayer. These Trappish missionaries taught him that a good Christian is known by their prayer and witness of Christ. Their teaching touched his heart, and he soon chose to be baptized. Isidore embraced the faith with passion, attending catechism, praying the rosary, and wearing the brown scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel with devotion. Eventually, Isidore left his hometown and found work on a rubber plantation. Many of these plantations were owned by Belgian atheists who despised Christianity, particularly missionaries, as the missionaries spoke out against the treatment of the native population by these plantation owners. Though Isidore was determined to share his faith, he was forbidden to evangelize by the owner of his plantation. The name of this plantation owner was a man named Van Couter, and he was particularly hateful towards Isidore. Yet despite the open hatred, Isidore stood out as a man of prayer. He carried a rosary. He wore his scapular proudly. He shared the faith with his fellow workers, not forcefully, but joyfully. While this inspired the other servants on the plantation, it further enraged Van Couter, who stated, "You'll have the whole village praying and no one will want to work." At some point, the plantation owner ordered Isidore to take off his scapular. Isidore refused, saying gently but firmly, "I cannot. I am a Christian, and this is the sign of my faith." Van Couter was so enraged by Isidore's response that he had him tortured mercilessly. Isidore was tied up and whipped repeatedly with an elephant hide whip embedded with nails. He was hit over 100 times, to the point where the bones from his back were showing. Witnesses said the overseer beat him until his skin was torn and blood soaked the ground, but through the torture, Isidore prayed. After suffering such horrific torture, Isidore was thrown still chained into a small hut used for rubber processing. The space was so small he could not even move to use the bathroom. Soon after, an inspection of the plantation was to be held. Isidore was moved to another plantation to avoid discovery and what had been done to him. However, because of his wounds, he was unable to make it and he collapsed along the side of the road. Using a couple of sticks, he dragged himself back to the original plantation. The inspector, having seen him, was horrified. He wrote in his memoirs, "I saw a man come from the forest with his back torn apart by deep, festering wounds, covered with filth, assaulted by flies. He leaned on 2 sticks in order to get near me. He wasn't walking, he was dragging himself." The plantation owner, upon seeing Isidore again, became rageful and tried to attack him again. However, the inspector himself restrained him. The inspector took Isidore with him to his own home and tried to care for him in hopes he would recover. Isidore, knowing he would not survive, said, "If you see my mother, or if you go to the judge, or if you meet the priest, tell them that I am dying because I am a Christian." A few missionaries came to visit him to deliver the last sacraments, which he received with reverence. He said, "The white man did not like Christians. He did not want me to wear the scapular. He yelled at me when I said my prayers." What happened next is astonishing. The missionaries told Isidore to forgive the one who tortured him, and Isidore simply responded that he already had. "Yes, I forgive him. When I am in heaven, I shall pray for him very much." Van Couter was sentenced to a lengthy prison sentence in 1910 for the attack. As his condition worsened, the missionaries cared for him with tenderness. Isidore prayed the rosary constantly. He clutched his scapular until his final breath. On August 15, 1909, the Feast of the Assumption, Isidore died. He was only in his early 20s. Those who were with him testified that he died peacefully, like a man walking into the arms of the mother he loved so deeply. News of his martyrdom spread across Africa. The people spoke of his holiness, his courage, and especially his forgiveness. The church investigated his story and confirmed that Isidore had been killed in odium fidei, in hatred of the faith. On April 24, 1994, during the African Synod, Pope John Paul II beatified him. He called Isidore a true son of Africa and praising his shining witness as a layman. Today, Blessed Isidore is remembered as a patron of the African Catholic laity, a model of young workers, a witness of forgiveness, a martyr for religious freedom. His feast day is celebrated on August 15th. Isidore said in a message that echoes true today: the faith is worth living for, worth suffering for, and for some, even worth dying for. Blessed Isidore Bakanja, pray for us.